Please share the information provided in this video. Always remember that a crucial part of removing a person's confusion is understanding his or her unique source of it. Racism is a problem here in the South where I live, and I see it every day. For example, I have friends who are white like me, and they have girlfriends, and basically we can hang out at their house till whenever on their side of town. But since I live in a neighborhood where black people live, the white girls won't come over here because they think they'll be raped or something. I mean, it's that ridiculous. Sometimes girls get hyper afraid, but would you hire a black man? I asked this guy that, and he said I'm not racist. I said, would you hire a black man for a job? And he said, well, not a good job. And I was like, really, you're not racist? Or you see the other side of it too, because the black people in the neighborhood, that I've met, and other friends that I've had, pretty much don't trust white people too much, and it makes it hard for them to get a job and get ahead because they're very certain that they're being screwed over somehow. But in life we run into racists, and they have their arguments, they have their proofs, their evidences, and I just want to clue you into the fallacious form of logic this almost always takes. It's like someone who's a fan of a football team, and for example, my brother loves UGA, and he's made up his mind that UGA is the greatest team ever, so it just doesn't matter what happens in the game. He will focus on what he needs to focus on to tell himself that UGA won. He really will do that. So he says if UGA's up at halftime, that's a win. He calls that a technical win. He says when Florida beat UGA all those years when they had Tim Tebow, those didn't count as losses against Georgia because they had Tebow. And in logic we call this special pleading, where you ignore certain facts but pay attention to others so that you can defend a position that you've already made up your mind to defend. So you're just selectively picking the facts. It's like I beat you in a video game 9 times, you beat me 1, and then you say you're better than me, and I say why? You say because I beat you. You're just ignoring the 9 other times. So in racism, what people do is they ignore all the things wrong with their race, but they will be masters at specifically always noticing the things wrong with the other race, but oblivious to the things wrong with their race. And if you just focus on that, so if I tell you about somebody you don't know and I just tell you the bad things I know about them, you'll begin to think that person is a horrible person. And it works the same way. And I can do the opposite, by making someone sound like a good person. So really, racism typically has these logical arguments where they state these facts, and you can't deny the factual nature. Like, they won't lie, but they'll just only remember the truths that support their cause.